Last question, Kyle. 10 years from now, if you do everything right, or at least close to right, what does your life look like? Where are you located? What have you built? And what does the market look like as well?
Okay, so great question. Thank you. So I think that if you're building, if you understand decentralization, right? And if you think that peer-to-peer transactions and smart contracts are the future of applications, I do. Why? Because if you understand decentralization, the point is to remove middlemen. What does that do? It removes friction. It removes fees. And so when you think about a use case like a ride-sharing application like Uber, if someone were to build a very similar user experience where any driver in the world can sign in and any passenger in the world could take their service, but you remove that middleman fee that Uber takes, it's 30% or whatever. Now what happens is my ride to the airport costs me 30% less. And that means I pay less and the driver makes more money. And then you could still have 1 or 2% from that goes back to people who are securing the network, the token holders, the governance, whatever. And so that becomes, as long as the user experience is super easy, like I mentioned before, the consumer apps that aren't having billions of dollars in DeFi locked in it can be slightly less secure if my transaction size is something like $100 or $50 or $20 or 1,000, whatever. Then you can have an application that doesn't feel like Web3. It feels like Web2, but you get all the benefits of Web3. You get the decentralization. So I believe that is the future of applications, purely because they're going to make more sense for the consumers and the other side. So I want to decentralize the products that we're building, Paid and Commonwealth. I eventually want to get them in a position to where, and that cannot happen overnight. It cannot happen in early stage. It is just too difficult to build a constitution in place that the DAO members will understand how it operates and what the rules are of that ecosystem and how it functions. That's going to take time. And that's one of the discussions I'd also like to help with with the American regulators. So I see myself mostly out of crypto, still want to be a voice in the street, still operating my YouTube channel. Hopefully the show Crypto Nights is still going by then, still investing in deploying capital. But where I was before crypto was longevity and anti-aging. And, I've started to take that very seriously the past 6 or 8 months or something like that. And so now I'm a certified biohacker. I'm going back to my roots of where I was before crypto. And I want to invest and be part of that industry. And so there's a couple companies right now that I have a close relationship with that are doing incredible things. One of them is doing gene therapy to make life better, to solve really critical problems that we have that are inherent in our DNA. And another one is a stem cell company that's doing something that no one else is doing in the stem cell world.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside I view is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the Investment Club.
Those are two that in the next 6 to 12 months, I'd like to get a little bit closer to. And I plan on investing some of my gains from this bull run into those companies and hopefully taking an advisor position or something over there. As I get a bit older, I'm now 40 and I'd like to control, the faith in my health. And I think, guys like Brian Johnson, are surely out there showing us that you can be 50 years old and healthier than most 18-year-olds. And so whether he's able to indefinitely extend lifespan or just significantly increase his lifespan, but also at the same time, simultaneously increasing his health span, like I want to be, if I die naturally or of an accident at 100 years old, 110 years, 120 years, whatever it is, then I want to be healthy until the end of my life too. I don't want to spend the last 10 years of my life dependent on someone else taking care of me. And I certainly think that world is as fascinating as AI and crypto 100%. Because most people, well, everyone, when they start, if they're not taking care of themselves, and they start to get to my age, like you start to feel the effects of aging, and it's not nice. It's not nice at all, right? And then when you get older and older, it becomes more crippling, more debilitating. And we're at a point where we no longer need to accept that aging is inevitable. In fact, people are currently proving that it's not inevitable. In fact, me, myself, in the past year and a half, have reversed my biological age. And this is how crazy it was. When I was 39, I had my telomeres tested, which for those watching, it's just a way scientists can measure your biological age. When I was 39 years old, I came back as a 51-year-old, right? The doctors used to say I was living life in the fast lane. You know, I was an entrepreneur that was hustling, that was proud of going on a call. I only got 3 hours of sleep last night. I was working too hard, right? Like, and eating like crap and severely overweight and all these kind of things. And so I've taken my biological age from 51 to now, last time I checked, which was like 4 months ago, telomere length was 46.
Nice.
And then my Whoop just got an upgrade. They say my biological age is 41.8. That's not nearly as accurate as a telomere test. I need to do a telomere test again. But anyway, I'm going in the right direction. And I see myself as a voice in the crypto industry, as someone who helped shape it, who has left infrastructure that becomes very valuable. In fact, my goal in this industry is to change allow the financial future of the 99% to flourish, right? How do you do that? You need to look at your risk minimized investment opportunities that give you really big upside potential with, to put you in the same ability as a sophisticated VC. And those are the kind of technological platforms I built. And my goal over the next year or two is to really help with adoption of those technologies and then eventually hand them over to the community.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.